Well, good afternoon. It's nice to have you back again. I must admit, this is particularly intriguing for me because I thought yesterday, I quite enjoyed talking to you, but I thought that 6 people and a dog would, of course, attend. This wasn't the case. 108 of you decided to come, and today 172 of you have come. I have it on good authority that the dog actually took notes yesterday, but I must admit that I've never had 172 people in my bedroom before. So this is quite unique. But welcome to this, the second of the webinar series on, I suppose, two things really for me. This is the challenges of distance learning as an educator and what you want to be. And secondly, um, how to use Writer's Toolbox effectively in this challenge that we presently face. So before we get underway, a few notices for the day. Firstly, those of you who may have been logged on this morning to Writer's Toolbox and been using it in your classes will see immediately that we made good on our promise. I had the IT team working till all sorts of hours last night, and now every student will automatically see the daily challenge come up on their screens. They can click the target, which I'll show you in a second, and there it is for them as part of their daily activities. We're running competitions, so competitions at write.sa.org, collect them in as a teacher and send us what you think's the best, and every week we'll publish some of the best writing your students have done. The next is this, and this is quite exciting, but I need to actually share something with you to show you this, because you did ask, and I want to show you, we do listen to what you say. Many of you asked yesterday, could you please share these webinars with us? And the good news is, yes, we are. You're seeing here, this is the Write Their Essay YouTube channel. By the end of today, the first of the webinars will be up, and every day we do these, we'll record them and post them up here. They'll be there for you, your friends, your colleagues, whenever you want to watch them, they're going to be there for you. So watch that space. Here's the next one. We're almost at the end of the daily notices, but here's the next one. We have a Facebook page at Write the Essay. And it's kind of cool. Our social, our marketing team do a splendid job, but we decided to do this. This competition is running for those schools who are not yet using Writer's Toolbox, but you may know them. You can see, go to the Facebook page of Write That Essay, and you'll see there that if you share this fantastic new video on the tool with your friends and relatives and neighbors and enemies, their schools who actually don't use Write That Essay at this point, or Writer's Toolbox, can go to the draw, and we're going to give 10 schools. That's right, 10 schools. Doesn't matter how big or how small that school could have 3 kids. That school could have 3,000 students. You're going to get free licenses. They will get from you free licenses between now and the end of the year. 10 schools, doesn't matter, anywhere in the country. So that's quite a nice gift you can give at this time. All right, let's get into this topic for today. Today I wanted to talk to you about really 2 things. The first is a teaching tip again, I suppose. And it's once again this opportunity we now find ourselves in, and how might you grasp that fully as a teacher in the time of distance learning? And I'd like to take you back and share with you something from the National Literacy Strategy in Britain that was launched in 1997. They were concerned, as many of us are, about the writing and the literacy standards amongst students. And they launched a number of very useful things in the classroom. They had literacy hour and kits produced for teachers and all sorts of activities to try and help the nation along and lift its reading and writing standards. And about 10 years after that initiative, they started to do some reviews of its effectiveness. And reading went up. That was encouraging. Reading improved, even nationally. But as some of the leading scholars who looked at that material remarked, writing was sticky. It was hard to see a lift in writing. One of the things that came out of those reviews, I think, is pertinent for us here in this time that we face. Because while teachers did a number of things, said the reviewers, one of the activities in classrooms that we know has an impact that they did rarely was modeling. Modeling. For those of you who've ever been to one of the seminars or the workshops that we run in schools across Australasia, you'll know that our writing coaches constantly model in front of participants writing. And what we're doing is showing you what we believe are the great practices for what we're doing is showing you what we believe are the great practices for writing. And modeling is crucial. As a teacher, you need to model in the classroom what you believe are the examples of good writing your students require. You can do this even in a very simple way. You can model an introduction. That is so helpful. Many students struggle with the starting problem. Why have the student even do the introduction when you could do it? You could model it, give them the introduction, and they cast the rest of the piece. It's these little moments when you can pause as a teacher and actually do activities that deepen the skill of the child during times like this. That will prove so helpful in their learning journey and their learning career to come. So do it. It puts it back to the challenge on us, I know. But model for them. We know it has an impact. Now, Writer's Toolbox. And the thing I'd like to show you today is how to add students to classes. That's fun. But also, I'd like to show you one of my new favorite tools on the site, which is the sentence writer. Now we'll have a look at all that works and how that can be there for kids. So let's just jump straight in, shall we? Here's the login page of Writer's Toolbox, and I'll log in as my teacher. And I'm in. Like I said to you, one of the daily challenge, and here's today's for Tricky Tuesday, is up there for every single student who's got a license for Writer's Toolbox and every single teacher. That's today's. So if you can solve that for me and send me, and how you can send in your best examples of student writing, why Mary's day has just been wrecked. And I don't mind if that's a sentence or a paragraph. I'll take whatever they've done. But let's see what they can come up with. That's the daily challenge. That's there for them. Well, let's now just go in and add some students to our classes and see how there's more about how the school administration side of the site works. So I'm going to go to the green button at the top there that says School Admin. If you hover over any of the buttons on the site, up comes a little prompt telling you what it is. Then I'll go straight in. And there you can see I already have some students in my class, but I'd like to add another student. So I'll step you through that process. I'm not good on little buttons, which is why I insisted the design stream team create me very large buttons and color them green. So I just click Create Student. And I can type in here the fields that I want. So that's first name, last name, her writing level. I'll explain this more as we progress, but this alters the level of the modules your student has access to. So even irrespective of the chronological age of your student, you can limit the access to the writing tools they see in terms of their skill development. If I go basics, they get more basic learning modules. If I go advanced, they get learning modules that are suitable really to our student in the final years of the high school years. So I'm just going to put Alice, she's just getting underway. I'm going to put her on the basics. Many schools and jurisdictions have either national student numbers or unique IDs. I can type those in if they're suitable, or I can leave them blank. I'm going to select a year level, which is year 7. Alice's email address. Well, here we go. She's Alice at toolbox.edu. And her username, that's helpfully actually, also I'm going to do her email address. Password, and retype it. Save that. Now Alice has been added. That's great, but what happens if you actually want to add an entire class or an entire school at a time? It's very simple. You don't have to do it student by student. The what they fashionably call in the trade the 3-dot menu. Highly scientific, these IT people. You click on that and you can import students. And I can import a CSV file automatically that will upload an entire class or an entire school. If I export students, and I just have, I've exported my entire class there because I'll just show you what that looks like. I've opened that up. Here is that CSV file. And you can either manage this yourself, or the great team at WTE, support desks are open nearly 24/7. Those guys and girls will help you as well. And all you need to include is a first name, surname, username, email, writing level, and year level. And I can import that for an entire school, job done. All my classes, I can pre-create classes as well and have that all populated within a very short space of time. So one student, whole classes, whole schools. Some people ask me too what the dots represent. You can see there on my view of the students here in my school, I've got a range of dots. The dots indicate the student's present writing strength. It's clever, Writer's Toolbox. The artificial intelligence here is reading all the time your students' writing. It's analyzing how they write against a suite of key variables of good quality writing, and is assembling that into data that's presented to teachers. The more they write in here, the better the information you can get on your students as a teacher. So immediately I can see anybody with a red dot, it's just a traffic light system. That student's struggling in a particular area, and anybody with a green dot, they're doing fine according to their year level. It's smart. It knows the particular capacities a student should have at year 7 and how they're quite different from student at year 12 or a student at year 4. So I'm just going to go into a couple of people here. We'll have a look. Samwise Gamgee, a year 7 advanced student. I've jumped straight in, and there it is. You can see there that Sam's writing strength is way up there in the dark green. He's 80% overall. That's taking in, assembling a whole collection of exciting mathematical algorithms that are analyzing his writing all the time and presenting this to you as a teacher. He's got his average sentence styles per paragraph there is 3. His target at his particular age and stage is 4, but you can see that information in detail at any time just by clicking on one of these little information windows. As a teacher though, you have so much more here. Look, that's Sam's performance, but I can actually see Sam's classes, his learning journey, and indeed Sam's work. So let's have a look. I click on work, and up comes Sam's work. there it is. Let's see what Sam's been doing. I have no idea who Sam is. Sometimes, occasionally, the quite uncontrollable back office staff at WTE headquarters leap in and create students and then write things. And I have to say, this is somebody who will remain nameless. When I was escorting Frodo to Mount Doom, the trip, oh my goodness. Well, you can read that at your leisure or not. If you like orcs, that will delight you, I'm sure. Clearly, Sam does. I can see Sam's classes. He's enrolled in a class. I can add another class. And here's a lovely feature. I can also see Sam's learning journey. This has been a significant piece of work for us here at WTE and the team. We're quite proud of it. What we've done is this. We've taken the hard part out for you as a teacher. Over the years, we've assembled a great selection of 120 plus learning modules on all aspects of writing. And across the past 12 months, what we've been doing is allocating those to specific year levels so that without you even having to do it, the particular writing skills that your student, your child should be taught at a respective year level are already pre-populated here inside the system. And you can see there for Sam, he's already got the various sentence styles he needs to learn and to work on at his age and his stage. I can click through here and I can go to one immediately and do that module and learn that particular material. And there's the W start sentence, and it's going to train Sam about that. We'll explore those features in more detail in the coming days because it's quite exciting. But let's just go back one more step. And we'll go back to classes once again. Because I've imported my students. But let's just make another class. Just so you grasp that fully, because it's a very easy thing to do. I click on Create Class. And I'm going to call this Monday Social Studies. The year level is compulsory. I'm going to put year 7 in. I don't have to put a department. I can just choose an image. Right, social studies. Yes, well, the students in my school are particularly materialistic. So there we go. We have a Porsche for Monday Social Studies. And I create that class. Now I want to add some students. Well, you've got two options here. You can just click Add Student one at a time. Or you could do this. I'm going to go up to the search bar because we have predictive text in this. And I'll add a student. Here we go. Search student. And up they come straight away. I'm only 3 letters in and I already get the student in my school. Boris Watson, there he is. Audrey Hepburn, she's in. So if you want to add a student at a time, just an additional student to a class, or populate a class one student at a time, it's a small group, create a special interest group, even inside a class, that's a really helpful way to do it. But as I said, if you just want to bulk upload students, you can do that seamlessly using the CSV file upload, and our staff are on tap anytime you need to help you with those functions. So as we head towards the end, let's actually do some writing because that's what we're here for. Let's go back to the main page, main dashboard. I'm going to click Write. And the time we have left today, why don't we start right down at the very beginning, at the sentence. This is Sentence Writer. For those of you who went, what was that? Click, where did it come from? I'm down here in Sentence Builder. Chose Jane Austen. She's particularly good at writing sentences, some of the most famous in the world. Of course, I'm sure you know it as a truth universally acknowledged, but let's use Jane, click on her and go to Sentence Writer. Here I can use and learn how to craft the 12 sentence styles that are the foundation of my writing system. And let's start with something like the adverb. The adverb sentence is, of course, the third sentence style that you should teach a child in school. The very first sentence style that you should teach someone is the simple sentence. The next sentence style is the very short sentence. And then the third in their schooling career is the adverb style. So let's have a go. And here is the world of Sentence Builder. And this tool has been purposely made to scaffold the sentence down into chunks. The student is not faced with the daunting problem of casting the sentence from start to finish in one burst. They have it chunked, which reflects my own ideology about the way that you can rapidly see a child's syntactic maturity grow by teaching them sentences in chunks, not as individual words. And this tool mirrors that. So I'm going to learn how to write an adverb start sentence. Now, the bottom half of the screen where I'm circling here is where you do your writing, and you'll see it appear. To the right-hand side, you can see some examples. The examples always mirror, well, there are two things. They're written by famous authors. Roald Dahl clearly had quite a good day on this one, but they also will mirror the particular age of the student using the tool at any time. Writer's Toolbox is fully differentiated. It knows how old your student is, it knows their writing ability, and it will respond accordingly. That's the clever part about it. So your year 4 student will not see the same examples here that your year 10 or your year 11 student sees. And the next little tab is hot starts. If you're at all stuck, well, I can click on one of these and cast a sentence. Step 1 is to pick an adverb and a comma. Clicking on the hot start automatically drops that in for me. That's the first bit of the sentence, and I fulfilled the command here which says start with an adverb and a comma. I click next, and it says now write the rest of the sentence. Slowly, the turtle moved across the road. I've done my sentence and I click finish. It returns me to the Sentence Builder main screen where I can decide to have another go or write a different type of sentence. But you can see here this handy little log is beginning to build of the sentences that I'm casting. So why don't I just preempt what you might be thinking as a teacher and show you how this works in the moments we have left as a student and how you can see what they're doing. I'm going to log out now as the teacher, and I'm going to log back in. Let's log in as Boris. Boris was a student in my classroom. He's a bit of a scallywag, but we'll see what he's been up to. And Boris, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some writing today as Boris using the Sentence Builder. Right. An adverb start sentence. Yes, I'll have a go at that. Okay, hot starts. I think something like slowly. Next, the leader of the opposition fell from grace. Boris clearly had early designs on his later career. And there's the first one. Look, I'm going to do another one. Here we go. We'll have a preposition start next. And hot starts, what can we do? There we go. By the time I was 17, comma, I click next, I knew it would not be long. Full stop, and I finished it. I'm really getting the swing of this. I'm going to go one more, very short. Here we go. No more than 5 words or less. Oh gosh, okay, what's a hot start for a very short sentence? Oh, the sadness was, blessed our books will. Oh gosh. It was only a matter of time. No, that's not right. That's too many words. Here we go. No more than 5. It was nearly time. Finish. That's Boris's writing, but I'm Boris's teacher, and I want to see how my students getting on with this sentence writing. I'll show you in the coming days how to create tasks around this so that you can have your students respond to particular activities that you set. But let's, in the final moments today, let's just log back out and log in again as the teacher to see what you would see for your class that's working. Great. I'm going to go into my school admin. I'm going to jump into, here's the students who are part of my classes. I'm going to jump into Boris's work. I'm going to go, there's his profile as a student. His writing strength is 56% overall. He's got some work to do. At the moment, he has no mastery over any sentence style. Mastery is a wonderful little guide. It says, yes, you might actually be able to cast a sentence style once, but can you do it 10 or more times across all your writing? So as your students do, the system is recording it, and it's giving them, we will darken these cool looking pens and show they're beginning to get mastery of the sentence styles they're learning. But let's check out Boris's writing. Here we go. There it is. Boris's sentences are compiled as this handy little log of all his work, and one after the other begin to assemble here for the teacher so you can see his progress. I can, as a teacher, I can go through his work and have a look at all his writing. Look, you've been into the sentence writer before. Clearly politics was on Boris's mind early on in life. And there's Boris's very first piece. When he entered the site as a student, all your students do a milestone piece of work, and that was Boris's. I think that's enough for today. Just in closing, 2 things. Remember what I said. As we close off, and as you face the rest of the day and the weeks ahead, don't lose the opportunity to model. On Writer's Toolbox, you too, as a teacher, can flex your muscles, learn these sentence styles, learn how to do all the different aspects of writing, and you be the first to model it for your students. Show them, give them the introduction, give them those first few sentences, and let them cast the rest, because there's still so much for them to master. And secondly, just in closing, keep sending in your questions. Every day I'm going to pick up some of the questions that come in, and we'll respond to them as we continue this journey together and go deeper and deeper into the classroom and what it looks like in distance learning with Writer's Toolbox.